this is Ved. Let's solve the Python interview question. Swap the list elements. Let's run this task. Swap the list elements. I have a list having elements 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's swap the first element with the last element. To swap the first and last element, I need their indexes. So let's find the index of these elements. To find the index, I just need to write the given list dot index and the element in the brackets. Here we say 0, index of 1 is 0. Similarly for 5, the element 5, here it is 5 and the first element is 1. For 5 we see that the index is 4. Now I can simply write element 1, that is index of that element, index of last element which is 4, and then we are simply assigning all this. Here you see I'm assigning list 4, that is the last element to first element and first element to the last element. If I print the result, you see the elements are swapped. 5 is swapped with 1. If I want to swap this 4 and 2 as well, then I can simply write second element index, that is 1, and second last element index, that is 3. If we count, as we know that index starts from 0, index counting, so 0, 1, 2, 3. So for 4 it is 3. We are assigning the same way as we did above. Here we print this, and now let me print the list over again, and here we see again that 2 and 4 are swapped, and it seems like a reverse of a list. Like you can see the original list is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and here the swapped list is 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. But reversing a list is different from swapping the list. Now the question comes that these are only 5 elements. What if I have more elements? Then is it a right way to write this way for each and every element? That's not a good idea. So let's create another list 1, having elements 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I'm just writing this part for I in range of length of list 1. Here what we're trying to do is that we don't have to write individually for each and every element. So I would be explaining this in a moment after writing this. Here it will be the last element, how I will get the last element list. I will be taking the length of given list. Here it is list 1. Again I need to write list 1 over here as well. Then minus 1 minus I. Again the same thing. Here it is list 1. Again I'm just same thing goes here, and list 1 minus 1 minus I, and here it goes list 1 I, and let's print the result. Here we see again the elements are swapped. 1 to 11 becomes 11, 10, 9, 8, 7 up to 1. Again it seems like a Seems like we were seeing a list elements. Now let me explain this part. Firstly, discuss this part. How did we get this? Let me copy this part and let me get some more cells over here. Yeah, here we go. If I write print I, if we divide the length of the given list by integer division by 2, if we do the integer division by 2 of the given length of the list, we get these indexes. And similarly, if I just paste this part only, these indexes, I will get like this. So for if I is 0, we are getting the, for the first element, we are getting the last element's index. For 0th index, we are getting the 10th index, that is the last index in the given list. Similarly, for 1, we are getting 9. For first element, that is 2, we are getting the ninth element index, that is 10. For 2, we are getting 8, that is yeah, so you get that. For 0 we are getting 10, for 1 we get 9, for 2 we get 8. Let me print all this together. For I in range of length list 1 by 2, if I simply print, I just want to print these two parts together so that you can understand this easily. So I will use f string for this, and I would be using curly brackets so that I can pass variables into this. Then I'm using colon, and again I'm using a variable, and I'm just using these indexes code. Okay, some error is here. Let me check. Here we have written for I in range. Okay, we haven't used this. It will be like this. For f string, we need to put quotes here and here in the very beginning and in the very last of the code. Now here we go. Here you see for the 0th index we are getting last index. For first index we are getting the last second index, and vice versa. Now going back to the same question. Now again you might be thinking that why have we used integer division instead of normal division. Let's say this. Let's resolve this part. Let's write the same code with normal division. Before that, let me explain this part, that what is normal division and what is integer division. Any number, and if we write like this, it will give me the integer part of that division, not the decimal part. So it will give me only 5 because that's the integer. It won't be giving the decimal part of that. And if I do the normal division, we say this as integer division, and this is called normal division. Here it would include all those float points as well. Here you see it is 5.5, but it is the nature of a range function to handle only integers. It expects only integers, not floats. If I run this code with normal division, it will throw an error. Let's see. Here you see it says type error. Float object can't be interpreted as an integer. So it is the property of range function to use only integers, not floats. Let me give you an example for I in range Let us suppose I write 10 to 5.5. Wait, let me write print I. Here again you see the same thing. Float object can't be interpreted. So we need to, if I give an integer to this, instead of 5.5, if I just write 5, it will give me an output 1, 2, 3, 4. As it doesn't include the last element, it gives last element minus 1. So if it is 5, it is giving me 4. And now one more question that you may be thinking of. Let me get back to this part. Here in this code, let me write it here only. In this part, you can think, why have we taken the division of 2 instead of just taking the list of length of the list? Let me explain what I'm saying. If I just take list of length of the list instead of division by 2, then we will get the same result over again. Let me print this out. If I print the list, one it is. Wait, I didn't. I just need to write this here so that we can run this cell. Here you see we are getting the same list over again because this part can be answered. I just answered over here. Let me copy this and paste it over here. Here I was saying that if we take the length of list divided by 2, then for 0 we are getting 10, for 1 we are getting ninth element, for fourth element we are getting sixth element. So it is one time swapping. But if I just remove this division 2, then here you see up to 4 6, for fourth index we are getting the sixth index. It is the normal swapping, it is the first swapping, but afterwards we get the reswapping, so we get the same list over again. Here you see 10 is swapped by 0, 9 with 1, 8 with 2, 7 with 3. So it's a kind of reswapping. That's why we get the original list over here. That's why we just do the division by 2, and not only the division by 2, it's integer division. We divide the length of list by the integer division of 2. If you have any doubts or any questions, you can comment below. I will catch you in next video. Thanks. Bye bye.